Let me ask you something before we even get started. Have you ever bought a car that looked perfect on paper, drove it for 2 years, and then got a repair estimate that made you seriously reconsider your life choices? Because that is exactly what is happening to hundreds of thousands of car buyers right now, and the common thread almost every single time is a turbocharged engine that was never really ready for the real world. Here is what bothers me about this situation. Walk into any dealership today, look at two cars side by side, same horsepower number, same miles per gallon sticker, same trim level, and one of those engines has a documented failure pattern that has triggered federal recalls and class action lawsuits, while the other one will run reliably past 200,000 miles without drama. You cannot tell the difference by looking. The salesperson cannot tell you either. And the manufacturer is certainly not going to bring it up. So that is what today is about. I went through federal recall databases, dug into the latest Consumer Reports reliability surveys for 2026, reviewed class action filings, and read through thousands of verified owner complaints. The patterns are not subtle once you see them. By the time we are done here, you will have a clear picture of which engines to avoid and which ones actually deliver on what they promise. Before we go further, drop a comment and tell me what you are currently driving and whether it is turbocharged or naturally aspirated. I am genuinely curious how many people watching already have one of these engines under their hood without knowing it. Context: why turbos are everywhere now. To understand why this problem exists at such a massive scale, you need to know how we got here, because it was not organic demand from consumers. It came from regulatory pressure. Federal fuel economy standards have steadily forced automakers to shrink engine displacement. A smaller engine burns less fuel on paper, which looks good on the compliance report. But smaller engines also make less power, which car buyers absolutely do not accept. The engineering solution that became universal: add a turbocharger to the smaller engine to recover the lost performance. Same horsepower output, smaller displacement, better fuel economy numbers for the regulators. Everyone wins, except sometimes the person who actually owns the car. Think about how dramatically this shifted things. Pickup trucks that used to run large naturally aspirated V8s are now being fitted with turbocharged 4-cylinders. Mid-size family sedans that spent decades proving themselves with simple, proven engines are now carrying boosted motors that add significant mechanical complexity. The transition happened fast, faster than real-world durability data could validate for some of these engines. Consumer Reports published findings showing that turbocharged engines carry a 67% higher probability of problems compared to naturally aspirated alternatives. That is a substantial gap. And since 2015, more than 4.3 million engines have been recalled in the United States, with turbocharger-related failures accounting for a significant portion of that number. That is not speculation, those are documented federal figures. Consumer Reports 2026 data: turbocharged engines are flagged as 67% more likely to report problems. 18 models lost their recommendation rating, with powertrain issues as the primary driver. The 3 failure modes: understanding the science. You do not need a mechanical background to understand why turbo engines fail in predictable patterns. There are 3 core failure mechanisms, and once you understand them, the data we are about to go through will make complete sense. Thermal stress from heat soak. The turbine inside a turbocharger spins at speeds approaching 300,000 rotations per minute and operates at temperatures that can reach 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Engine oil is the only thing standing between that turbine bearing and destruction. When you shut a turbocharged engine off immediately after hard driving, oil circulation stops, but the turbo retains enormous heat. The oil trapped in the turbo bearing cooks into carbon deposits. Over time, those deposits restrict oil flow, and the turbo begins failing gradually from within, quietly, incrementally, until it does not. Oil supply sensitivity. A turbocharger bearing has zero tolerance for degraded or insufficient lubrication. Extended oil change intervals, oil that has thinned with age, or a level that has dropped even slightly below specification, any of these conditions accelerate bearing wear at a rate that a naturally aspirated engine would simply not notice. Turbo rebuild specialists consistently report that inadequate lubrication is the primary cause of premature failure, well above age or mileage. Carbon accumulation on intake valves. Modern turbocharged engines almost universally use direct fuel injection, which delivers fuel straight into the combustion chamber rather than through the intake port. This means the intake valves never receive fuel washing over them, and carbon deposits accumulate on the valve stems and seats over time. The result is restricted airflow, rough idle, and misfires, and some owners are dealing with costly cleaning procedures as early as 60,000 miles. Quick question for you: how many of you actually let your turbocharged car idle for a minute or two before shutting it off after a long drive? Reply in the comments. It genuinely makes a difference for turbo longevity, and most owners have no idea. The 5 engines to avoid in 2026. Avoid, number 5. GM 2.7L Turbomax, Silverado/Sierra. General Motors made the decision to offer this turbocharged 4-cylinder as an alternative to the 5.3L V8 that has served these trucks reliably for years. The core complaint pattern documented in NHTSA filings is abnormal oil consumption, owners reporting losses of approximately 1 quart per 1,000 miles of driving. In a turbocharged application, that rate of oil loss is not an inconvenience. It is a direct threat to the turbocharger bearing that depends entirely on oil supply. Consumer Reports rates this engine below average for reliability. Adding to the concern, this engine has only been in production for a limited period, which means there is no long-term real-world data establishing how it holds up past higher mileages. When there is no data, that absence is itself meaningful information. If your priority is a reliable working truck, the proven V8 in the same model range is the more defensible choice. Avoid, number 4. Hyundai/Kia 1.6L Gamma Turbo, multiple models, 2013 to 2019. This engine appeared across a wide range of Hyundai and Kia vehicles during this production window. NHTSA issued recalls specifically addressing piston ring failures that caused excessive oil consumption and, in more severe cases, engine seizure. A class action lawsuit was filed against the manufacturer. The most serious documented failure path involves oil migrating into the combustion chamber, accumulating on exhaust system components, and creating conditions that can result in fire. If you are evaluating any used Hyundai or Kia from this era, running the VIN through the Federal Recall Database before purchase is not optional, it is the baseline step. The NHTSA database is publicly accessible and takes minutes to check. Are you currently looking at used cars from this era? If so, and I mean this genuinely, please check the VIN before you commit to anything. The Federal Recall Database is free and takes about 2 minutes. It can save you from an enormous problem. Avoid, number 3. VW/Audi EA888 2.0L Turbo, Jetta, Tiguan, Golf, A4, Q5. This engine is present in essentially every Volkswagen and Audi product sold in the American market. The documented failure catalog includes timing chain issues, high-pressure fuel pump failures, and carbon buildup on intake valves severe enough that some owners require a specialized cleaning procedure, commonly called a walnut blast, before reaching 60,000 miles. A class action lawsuit was filed specifically addressing the timing chain defect in the 2.0 TFSI variant. Consumer Reports rates Volkswagen powertrain reliability at 2 out of 5 stars, one of the lowest scores in the entire industry. A well-maintained example with complete service documentation can perform reasonably well. But any gap in that history, any missed oil change, any delay in scheduled service, and you are taking on risk that belongs to the previous owner. Price accordingly. Avoid, number 2. Ford 1.5L EcoBoost 3-cylinder, Escape, Fusion, Bronco Sport. The failure mode documented here is coolant intrusion into the combustion chamber. When engine coolant enters a cylinder, the engine can hydrolock, a condition where the incompressible liquid prevents the piston from completing its stroke. This can cause stalling at highway speed. In the most serious documented cases, this failure sequence created a fire risk. Class action litigation was filed against Ford on this basis. The 2015 through 2018 model years carry the heaviest documented complaint density for this specific failure pattern. If a vehicle with this engine and within this model year range is being presented to you as a purchase, understand the full picture before making any commitment. Avoid, no. 1. Toyota 3.5L twin-turbo V6, Tundra/Lexus LX. This one requires some context, because the brand carries enormous goodwill built over decades of legitimate reliability. That goodwill is earned, but it applies to Toyota as a company, not automatically to every individual engine they produce. In November 2024, Toyota issued a recall covering approximately 105,000 vehicles for low oil pressure warnings associated with this engine. The following month, December 2024, a separate recall was issued for roughly 127,000 Tundras and Lexus LX SUVs, citing crankshaft bearing failure risk. Two independent recalls, approximately 232,000 vehicles combined, issued within 60 days of each other. NHTSA currently has more than 3,000 engine complaints on file for this engine family. The Toyota name does not immunize any particular engine from engineering problems. This is the data for this specific engine, and it warrants serious caution regardless of badge loyalty. Two engines that actually earned their reputation. Recommended. BMW B58 3.0L inline-6 turbo, 3 Series, 5 Series, X3, X5, GR Supra. This engine appears in the BMW lineup and, through a licensing arrangement, under the hood of the Toyota GR Supra, where it is BMW engineering, not Toyota's own work. The recall record is exceptionally clean. NHTSA complaint volumes are minimal relative to how many of these engines are in service. Consumer Reports consistently places it among the most reliable modern turbocharged engines currently available, and independent owner surveys across multiple years and higher mileage brackets confirm that assessment. The honest limitation here is that this engine lives in BMW's scheduled service, parts costs, and any repair outside warranty will cost significantly more than the same work on a Japanese or domestic vehicle. That is a real ownership consideration. But the mechanical engineering, the material specification, and the real-world reliability record are genuinely strong. If you can absorb the ownership costs, the B58 is among the safest turbocharged engines available in the current market. Recommended. Honda 1.5L VTC Turbo, Civic, CR-V, HR-V, 2019 and newer. For accessible pricing, under $28,000 for a new Civic, this engine consistently earns above-average reliability ratings from Consumer Reports, and it has done so across multiple model years. Honda's broader engineering approach to the oil circulation and thermal management demands of turbocharging has produced an engine that holds up well in ordinary ownership conditions. There is one known issue worth understanding clearly: some 2016 through 2018 Civic and CR-V owners in cold climate regions reported gasoline diluting into the engine oil under specific short-trip cold-weather driving patterns. Honda addressed this through software updates and technical service bulletins, and 2019 and later production models do not carry this concern in the same way. If you are in a warm weather state, this is effectively a non-issue. If you are in the northern United States or Canada, purchase 2019 or newer and the concern is resolved. As a combination of long-term reliability data and purchase price, this is the strongest case for a turbocharged engine in an affordable vehicle right now. Closing. So here is the direct answer to the question you came here with: turbocharged engines are not inherently unreliable. But they are mechanically more complex than naturally aspirated alternatives, they generate substantially more heat, and they are far less tolerant of any lapse in maintenance discipline. Deferred oil changes, ignored service intervals, or just shutting off a hot turbo without any cooldown, behaviors that a simple naturally aspirated engine will absorb without consequence, can meaningfully shorten the life of a poorly engineered or poorly maintained turbocharger. What the brand name on the hood cannot do is override the engineering decisions made inside the engine. The data is the protection. And now you have it. One last thing: I want to hear from you. Do you own one of the engines we covered today, whether on the avoid list or the recommended list? Have you had any of the issues described, or has your experience been different? Leave it in the comments. Real owner experiences add a layer of information that no database can fully capture, and every comment genuinely informs what we cover next. If this gave you information you did not have before you clicked, consider sharing it with someone who is currently car shopping. It costs nothing and could save them from a very expensive mistake.